Hey guys, Desolator Magic here. We've got another Magic the Gathering leak of a very unusual type. Or so it seems on the surface, I've got the real truth. But let's start with a leak appetizer, because there's another one. I just don't want to make a third video, there's not much to it, but there's going to be a Magic the Gathering Marvel Secret Lair non-foil WPN only product. That is the Wizards Play Network, aka Physical Stores Only. You can order it if you're a WPN store, so definitely do this, starting March 18th, and the release date is April 25th. So less of a leak, more of an announcement, but it feels like a leak to the people who don't follow WPN stuff. Now, this was a big deal back in the day because people would rush into the stores, they'd usually buy other stuff, they'd buy sleeves, they'd hang around, they'd get to know other people, they'd play a few games, and then they'd be more likely to come back. You know, it's the whole get them in the door one time policy. And even if it's just regulars showing up, well, this is a hot product. I mean, the only place to get it, except for scalpers on eBay, is from WPN locations. So they could sell them at retail and get some goodwill, or they could sell them a little bit higher and kind of meet in the middle and people would get it, or they could sell them at full-blown scalper price and just make a whole bunch of money. So I say back in the day this was a big deal because now with Wizards selling directly on Amazon to get short-term numbers to look real pretty so Chris Cox could get allegedly a promotion, the amount of damage that they've done to stores' bottom lines has not been undone by this. Let's put it that way. This is not reparations for that. This is what they call in the industry completely insufficient. This is running in to rob a bank and on the way out you say, hey, I actually like your shoes to one of the tellers. Okay, this is nothing. Now the last line here is this item will be allocated. That means it's based on other sales and tier levels and all that stuff. So the bigger superstore is going to get more. They tend to be the ones that sell it online or transfer it to friends because we're talking, I mean, I'm not going to give examples, but you know when I say MTG giant superstore what I'm talking about. You could probably name a couple. Yeah, they've been known to allegedly not usually just pull one out of a hat. Like a customer name, which is literally what even my old LGS from Hell did. If you're not familiar with the tale of the LGS from Hell, it's a playlist on my channel. It's some stories from the absolute worst place I ever played at for like 3 years. And it's sitting at between 250,000 and 500,000 views total. So yeah, apparently people identify with that. But even they would just say, hey, who wants to enter? And then they would pull them out of a hat or a bag or whatever and say, there you go, you're the 4 who get to buy it. And that was from the Vault products. And you could buy them at MSRP. So yeah, this is going to be a Marvel one, and the non-foil ones are the ones going to the stores. So they're the more preferred ones. They sell better. So while it's kind of cool, in my experience, they're not exactly going to ship a box of 200 to any store. So, yeah. I'll keep you updated on any future developments with that. But it might seem like, ooh, good guy WOTC, but I just wanted to frame it as like, yeah, this is nothing. Like mathematically, no matter what they sell them for, this is not going to undo the damage of their sales. That happened when WOTC started selling directly on Amazon. Next up, the leak. We've got this beautiful picture, and it was just posted online with the title Recycled Paper. Well, remember when we saw like the big cubes of them and people found them at a recycling facility and they took close-up pictures of the big like bales of them and you could kind of see by the outside what some of the cards were and they looked exactly like this. Now, my understanding is that at least a plastic laminate layer and probably a Mylar product is what they print directly on after bonding it and letting it cure for foils, which is not recyclable. So saying this is recycled is already extremely suspicious if you guys know anything about how paper recycling works. You can only have a certain percentage of plastics in there and only certain types of plastic, like tapes and stuff. And, having X percent of the volume and weight being Mylar, no, this would not be accepted at any recycling place ever. It would have to be like a garbage, And remember, we also found cards in a landfill that one time. Now, these cards are Final Fantasy, so that would be about right timing-wise, but then they're also cut. The corners are, so it's not like defective sheets. Why would these have been shredded and in this way? Now, somebody couldn't just rip these up by hand because they're foil. Go try to rip a foil in half with your hand. It's kind of a fun activity to try. So the person posting us a line just posted recycled paper. That was all for the title. Well, this, for various reasons, would not be recycled, but then how did it get ripped like this? You wouldn't shred it like this without like a large shredder, but it wasn't destructive enough, so it wasn't like a cross-cut one. I don't know. So all I'm going to say is I looked into the poster and some other info that led to some other info, and this was staged. In my opinion, this was staged. This person is either a partner of theirs, a friend of theirs, or they work there, or something like that. There's too many associations, and they're a little bit too close to WOTC for this to have been just a weird coincidence that they just posted online with no consequences and no takedowns. That's weird. And they're a far-left activist and members of certain groups. That's weird. That's a weird coincidence, don't you think? Yeah, so this is fake. This is a marketing stunt. I'd put 90 to 10 odds on that. So I don't want to give this too much time, but we've got, resentful revelation with Sephiroth, and then we got something that says, unless it's, and then basic land swamps. Wow. The surface, the way the light is, the way this is photographed, the way it was posted, everything about this just screams fake. I mean, not fake cards, but like orchestrated as a marketing stunt. How many people were in on it if just 2 people thought this would be a funny, good idea, or if this was like the whole company and there's like, this is what we're going to do as a marketing stunt this time? It's one or the other, is somewhere in between. I don't have hard evidence on that. I just know something's really, really up the more you look into this. So put down your shovel and stop searching different recycling facilities in the area. That is not what happened to this, and that's not where these came from in all likelihood. This isn't just someone who works at a recycling place and has nothing to do with magic, okay? It's a little too close, a little too tidy on this one. So that's the pseudo leak. Let me know what you think of that, and if you're excited about the Marvel thing, and if you're already contacted your store to try to get a reservation, if it's first come, first serve, which I would, because you could definitely, based on the way this is being distributed, make a profit on this day one. If you end up with one for anything resembling MSRP, you could flip that for double. Store exclusives have always worked. Now, Magic is dying. People are pissed at Marvel. There's all these factors. This is not financial advice. I'm just saying it's historically been a hot product. So you do with that information whatever you want. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys next leak.